In the practice exercise for this unit, we're going to look at the product example we looked at before, and adding an array list and adding product objects to the array list, and then using that array list to display all the products we've added. This is very similar to what we had before. Made some changes to it. So I've got area where I can enter product name and price and the image URL, and I've got text fields all for those, and I've got a button here. When I click this, it displays the product. Right now I've added a web component over here so I can display the HTML into this. This isn't a web page, this is a Windows Forms one. But I've still added a web component here so I can display the HTML. So if I look at the code here, I create a new product called sales product. It's a new product. And then again, I grab my information from my different text fields. I may have to do some conversion of these. So I grab that information to create my new product. And then I have my little web browser window over there, and I use my get HTML for my product. And the product is what we've seen before, and this is just a simple class. It has a name, a price, and an image URL, and different accessors, gets and sets for that. And again, the price is what we looked at before. It's a little more complicated one here. And then we have two constructors. One with just the name and price, and one with the name, price, and the image URL. And then a get HTML, which returns all these things formatted as an HTML string. We also have similar things for books and movies that are based on our product class, and we've looked at those in the earlier examples. Now we're going to add an array list here. So at the top, inside our class, but outside any method, so we can use it everywhere in all the methods in our class, we declare an array list and call it something. Here we're calling it prod array. To use an array list, I have to remember to add this using system collections, because array list and lists are both in system collections. So I have to make sure that's up there. And then I have to initialize this to a new array. I'm doing this in the form constructor here that'll be called when the programs run. And so I'm just saying prod array is equal to a new array list. And that initializes our array list to a new blank array list. Now when I create products, I want to add them to the array lists. So I'm going to put in some code. So after I display the product, I'm going to do refer to my product array, my array list dot add, and then this is my product I've just declared. I'm just going to add that to my array list. And I can do the same thing for books and movie titles. Let me just do that quickly. So I've pasted in these additional codes, so when I create a new book, I also add that to the product array. When I create a new movie, I also add that to the product array. So I'm adding these different types of objects to my product array. They're all inherited. They're either products or based or inherited from product. So that makes it easy when I'm pulling them out. I can cast them all into products and work with them. So let's just try this out real quickly. I can run my little program here. Let me get it on screen. I can type in a product name, chair, and a price for 50, and then print in a product URL. And I'm just grabbing this from a public domain Flickr image, and I can hit create and display. And again, it'll put whatever I've put in for the product name and the price here, and if I put in an image URL, it will display that here. This will also work for a book or a movie. Now let's talk about this control over here to list out the products. I want to add a button over here and a list control. A list control is a simple control where I can add elements and it'll display them in a list of elements. So I want to actually see that I'm putting these elements into an array list and be able to get them all out of there. So let's look at this code for that button. So again, back here, I'm going to scroll a little bit to the right. And again, I've added this array, this list box, and it's just called LB products, list box products, LB products, and I've added this button. And then let's look at the code for this button, because we'll see a for each loop going through our products. So again, I have my array of products, which I have up here, product array, and earlier I added elements to that array. So now I'm going to go for product in prod array. So I'm going to grab each product, because all of these are inherited from product. So each product P in product array, and this loop will go through and set P equal to the first product in the array, and then do this code, and then loop back up and set P equal to the next product in the array and go through the code, and do that until it does that for each element in the array, prod array. And so now I can handle it each time. I'm just going to print out the the name of the object. And so in my product things, there's a name object, and I have built-in gets, and same with price. There's a set get accessor functions. So I can just say p.name and p.price. I'm going to do a little formatting in here. I'm going to add in and a couple spaces and a $sign before I print off the price. But I'm just going to display the name and the price. Now I'm going to do this with my list box. We haven't seen list box yet, so just a quick overview of them. We'll get a more in a future lesson. But I just say list box name and then .items.add, and that'll add whatever is in the parentheses to the list box. So let's try this out and run this. So I've entered some information for my first chair here. I'm going to hit create product, and that'll be displayed here. Now I'm going to grab some information for our book. So I'm going to type in the name of the book. We'll do our textbook, beginning ASP.NET in 4.5 in C#, and a price, $150. And an image URL, and again now I have to fill in the author. Now I'm not doing any checking if these things are completed, so the program will require these and will crash if you don't type in like pages in particular. So I want to make sure I fill those in, and then create and display the book, and here's our book information. But now what we really want to test out is this. Let's scroll over a little bit. My list box. So if I hit this, it will display each object I've created so far, a chair and a beginning and the next item here. So it's displaying each of the items in my list box. So everything is being stored in my array list. If I look at my code then, when I add the different items, they're being added to the product array list, and then when I hit that button, it goes through each element of product list and displays the name and the price of that, and puts it in that nice display. So this array list is storing that information. Later on we'll look at other ways. Array lists are just one way. In general we'll look in the future at how to store this information in a database, but array lists are a good way to hold things while your program is running. Next thing we'll look at is how this might differ on a website.